What's up, postpartum mamas? I'm super excited to be in this group today because I'm going to share with y'all something that I talk about a lot, and it has to do with diastasis recti, which is a separation of the connective tissues or a spreading, a stretching of the connective tissues between these two muscles in the front. And these are called the rectus abdominis, and these are essentially our six-pack muscles, right? When we get these strong and we get the fat off the top, we can see a six-pack underneath. That's what it essentially is, right? So during pregnancy, since our stomach is so spread out, it's literally stretching apart those muscles. And pretty much 100% of women during pregnancy have diastasis recti, okay? And then about a year after pregnancy, depending on how you're recovering, whether you had a C-section, whether it doesn't really matter. Depending on how you're recovering, about one in three women still have ab separation a year after having a baby. Okay, so it's extremely common, and it's something that we're not often taught about. It's something that we need to definitely continue working on after having a baby. And even if our stomach looks relatively flat, we can still have abdominal separation. So I kind of shared my story in this group before, but I definitely had abdominal separation after having my first son. Y'all, he was an 8-pound baby, and he was pretty big. And I think sometimes that plays a role, sometimes it doesn't. But I had abdominal separation about right here, okay? And I didn't know what to do. So I was doing regular exercises. I was trying to do crunches, like what, a lot of people try, right? And I wasn't seeing any results in my stomach actually going down and feeling tighter, okay? And then it wasn't until I had my daughter that I actually started to put together the pieces of how to close that separation, because I was feeling like I was always bloated. I was feeling like even if my stomach was relatively flat, it still protruded in a way that I didn't really understand, right? Even if it was, there wasn't that much fat, I guess is what I'm saying. It still protruded in a way that I didn't really understand. So I started to put together the exercises, and that's really kind of how this program and how everything kind of came together. But I want to share with y'all the simple assessment that can help you to understand if you have diastasis recti. I was able to close that gap, and I want to share with you throughout the process of this group and my coaching programs how to close that gap and how to get better function and integrity of the muscles in the front of your stomach and really throughout your entire deep core, from your pelvic floor all the way up to your sternum, and then from the back down, okay? All of this is the deep core. All of this stabilizes the body. So it's super important that we take the time to focus in on strengthening these deep core muscles and making sure that we don't have that separation, or if we do, that we're working on, whittling down and really closing that separation. Because if something is like this, there's lack of integrity. When it moves around, when you're twisting, it can literally cause damage between those two muscles. And we don't want that, obviously. We want the best function possible for every part of our body. So, Fit Mamas, let's get into this assessment. All right. So, I'm going to sit you on the floor right here. And hopefully the light is okay for you to see me. So, what we're going to do is lay down. And I will lift up my shirt to kind of show you. We're going to lay down. And we're going to take a deep breath. Fill up your stomach with air. Pull your stomach in. And then I want you to lift up your head. Okay, lift up your head just like this. And you're going to take your hand this way. And I'll tilt a little bit so you can see me. You're going to take your hand this way. And you're going to feel across in 3 positions. Okay, you're going to feel at the top here, above your belly button, right below your sternum, because you can't have separation here. You're going to feel right in the area of the smallest part of your waist. So you're going to feel right there. And then you're going to feel again a little below your belly button. Okay? When you're lifting up your head, you're engaging your abdominal muscles. So they should be pressing together to work. Okay? They should be working. And you'll know if they're working if you don't feel separation between those muscles. Okay? I just feel a small dent. Just a small little curve like that, and I can't even really fit my entire finger in between, or I can fit my finger, but not quite in all parts, okay? That means our core is working, it's engaged, and it is, those muscles are pressed together. However, if we're doing this, and we can feel separation of 2 fingers, or 3 fingers in between, then that means if you can feel the 2 firm sides, if there's plenty of separation where it just feels squishy in between, this means that you do have separation of your abdominal muscles more than likely, and that there are things that we need to do to work on closing that gap. So some reasons why this could be is, of course, from pregnancy, right? We know that. But then also afterwards, we kind of perpetuate the lack of integrity between those muscles by, if we're breastfeeding, we're in awkward positions as we sleep and as we move around the day. If we're doing certain workouts, we're literally putting pressure on those muscles that can pull them apart. And let me tell you, diastasis recti is not just as a result of pregnancy. Some people can be a 35-year-old strong football playing man who has a separation between his abdominal muscles from his abdominal muscles not properly dealing with the pressure of certain exercises or movements. So in this Facebook group, we're going to do a lot more talking about how to manage that pressure. And then also, you'll definitely get more information in my coaching program, The Real Snapback. And also my one-on-one coaching, where I give you a customized program to help you with dealing with that pressure in your abdominal muscles and how to deal with it, what specifically you should be doing to deal with it, how you should be eating to deal with it, how you should be moving to deal with it, and what are some things that you should practice on a daily basis. So if you kind of don't know where to start, you don't even know if you need a program, you don't even know, what it means for the separation that you have, or you just feel like your core is weak, you might have pain in your core, just reach out to me. I'll put the link for you to, let me do that now for you. I'll put the link, I'll just say pick a time to chat, to talk to me. And then you can pick a time. I have my calendar on there, or you can pick a time to talk. And what we'll do is we'll go over kind of where you are now. If you completed this assessment, I want you to complete it before we get on the call. If you completed this assessment, I want you to tell me how much space you have in between your muscles, if you do have that space. And then how do you feel in certain movements? Do you feel pain? Are you feeling just a weakness? Are you feeling out of breath? What is the feeling that you're getting when you do the assessment? And then we kind of go from, other things that are going on in your life and what are some of the problems that you're having. And then we talk about what are your goals. And I literally help you hash out your specific goals for the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 12 months. We talk about all of that. And then we also talk about what is your bridge? How do you want to get from here to here? And I'll set up a second call for you if I feel like you're a good fit for my programs. And what we do in the second call is I'll kind of go over your options. I'll tell you what I offer. And then we talk about how it could work for you. If you're into that, if you're a good fit for it, we'll go ahead and get you signed up and you get started that next week. So I'm excited to offer it because I know, for me, I had no idea, what to do next when I realized I saw something somewhere. I don't even remember what kind of triggered that understanding for me, but I saw something somewhere about diastasis recti, and I said, I think this is what I have. I did the same assessment years ago, 4 years ago. My son's 5 now, so it was maybe about a little, I don't know, around that time. And I just couldn't believe this is something that is so common, but there's so little information about it. And I just remember I was like, okay, I have to get certified as a trainer so I can help women with this problem. And there was one paragraph of information in the personal training textbook. And this was a really good, certification. This was one of the best ones ever. And I just remember being like, dang. And I went in and just kind of did my own research when it came to it and really tried to understand, what is this problem that so many of us are facing where we can't get rid of the mom pooch? And people will literally tell you well, that's just a part of being a mom. You chose to have kids. You got to deal with it. We all have to deal with it. That's just a part of it. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool to accept your body because your body has done something miraculous. I believe in accepting your body. I don't believe in, being like, well, I hate this about myself, so I need to change it. It's not about that. It's about our bodies should still be able to function at the best of their ability. And I don't ever think it's a good thing to tell your mind, a good thing to tell your body that something is not at its best, but I'm going to leave it that way because I don't know what to do. You know, so I'm always about understanding what is the problem, you know, and then is there a way to fix it on my own? Is there something that I can do to fix it? Is there some action that I can take? And so that's really what I want you to do next is if you don't know what action to take, go ahead and book a call with me and we'll talk about what your options are and what I can do to help you to get it together, sis. So we're going to be talking about that more in this group. Also, real quick, I want to, excuse my daughter. I want to talk to you all about all these collaborations that I'm going to be bringing to this group. So what I want you to do is just invite 5 people, okay? And because I'm going to be bringing in people talking about confidence, people talking about consistency, people who literally are walking this journey beside you, beside me, and who have so much to bring to the table as far as knowledge and their own story. And I really just want to bring everybody's story to this group as a central hub, a place for us to hang out and understand, you know, about what we're all going through so we can have more compassion, more empathy, but also to help us to elevate mentally, physically, and spiritually as well. So I'm going to have people coming in talking about all kinds of things, postpartum intimacy, confidence, body confidence, consistency, all of these different things. So I'm excited about that. I'm super excited. Let me know what y'all wanted to see and hear first. And I'll definitely consider that. And that's it, y'all. I will see y'all in my next live stream, which will probably be next week. But I'm also thinking about sharing a self-care segment. So, you know, I'll share more about that soon. But yeah, I will see y'all next week. Peace.